Now you see my brows, they're not done, they're just like unruly right now. So what I like to do is I like to actually go in with my double-ended brush. This is a Sephora number 20 precision or brow brush, precision brow brush. I like to take the spoolie side that looks like a mascara one, and I actually like to brush out my brows. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. And I am gonna use my little trusty mirror to help me with that. But I'll make sure that I'm not too close up that you can't see what I'm doing. So I'm just brushing out my brows. This does two things primarily in the beginning. The first thing it does, my brows naturally grow a little bit curlier, especially towards the tail end of my brows, they grow curly. So what the spoolie does is like a comb. It combs out your brows to get them going in the same direction so that way they will obey. So I like to brush them out. Secondly, what it also does is it shows you the shape of where your brow is going. So with that in mind, knowing exactly how you want your arch, I mean, you can manipulate your brows however you want. Like if you want your eyebrows, if your eyebrows are like pencil thin, pencil thin, like Marla Dietrich, then you can make them as thick as Bush Hills from circa 1980s. Anyway, so I'm just brushing out my brows. Now I can see the angles that I want to. I will be manipulating them a little bit, but you can see where I'm going with that. Next, what I like to go in with is my favorite Die Hard pencil, by far my favorite, love it to death. It's the Benefit Precisely Brow Pencil. This is in the shade number 5. This one is not the darkest shade. There's actually one more darker to it. It's also dual-ended. It does have a little spoolie just like my brush does, my pencil does. And it has the tool, the product on the other end, which I think is so convenient, so unique, and it's easy to work with. It's very uncomplicated, which I prefer. It does spiral up. So you can kind of see, let me show you real quick. You see that? You see, it's a retractable. And what I like to do is, so the rule of thumb when it comes to finding out where your brow begins, the arch, where it starts, and then where your tail end is, you're supposed to take the tool that you're using, put it to the bridge of your nose, and on the inner corner of your eye, you're going to make a little bit of an indentation, and that's to be where the beginning of your brow is, which is actually accurate. That's where my brow is. And then you're going to take it a little bit right 45 degrees, still at the bridge of your nose, and right in the middle of your pupil, you're going to find where your arch is. So your arch is right here. Like I mentioned before, I like to manipulate my arch. I like to extend it out because my eyebrows grow short. Lastly, again, from the bridge of your nose, all the way out on the outer side of your eyes at a 90-degree angle, that's where you're going to find where your tail end of your brow is. So just keep that in mind. Also, when you're doing your brows, make sure that you don't bring them down, because if you bring them down, obviously gravity pulls it down, so it just makes them look a little bit more sunken. It actually, unfortunately, can add age to you. You don't want that. So when you're doing your brows, I would suggest not to pull them down. I would say, if nothing else, so you see how my brow does grow out this way? I'm gonna extend it out a little bit, actually more up and further out this way, so it gives the illusion that it's going this way, like more like a cat eye, as opposed to bringing it down. So I'm gonna take my product. One thing I do recommend is when you're using any products, whether it's eyebrow products, eyeshadows, whatever it is, keep in mind that you usually are your most heaviest handed in the beginning stages of the product. So what I suggest and what I recommend, which is comfortable, when I do my brows, I like to start a little bit, quarter of the way in, right in this area when I first apply the product, because again, I'm my most heaviest in the beginning stages. And when I tell you that this brow product is very pigmented, it is very pigmented. Like, I've only made a few strokes and you can already see it started to take shape. And also, when you're doing it, I would suggest to do soft strokes because you're gonna get there. Gradually you will get there. But if you do long, drawn out, that's a little bit more unforgiving than it would be if you just do soft strokes. So we're just gonna do soft strokes in the brows, And like I mentioned before, my arch is right here. We're gonna actually extend it out a little bit further. Doing soft strokes. So you can see I made like a little line right here, because that's where I want my arch to actually go. And then, yeah, so right there, a little bit above where my hair actually grows. Now I'm doing the top portion. Again, those soft strokes. What you want to do is when you're doing your brows, when you are close up on whatever product or whatever mirror you're using, take a step back. Look at the design, look at how the brow is coming together. If you want to bring the arch up a little bit higher, if you like the shape of the arch and you just want to fill it in, it's still good to get that extra perspective. And with me, I have this mirror right here, but I also have a mirror that's a little bit further away, so it helps me to navigate, okay, do I want it to go higher or is this perfect for me? Now you can see I'm starting to come in a little bit more. Still soft strokes in the beginning. And since our hairs in the front tend to grow up, as opposed to grow out this way, what I like to do is once I hit that area and with the base, I just start to pull them up. Because again, I want that nice, natural look. Now, see there's an area that I want to clean up. We'll get to that a little bit later. But that's pretty much the basis before we clean it up. See the difference? Before, after. Before, after. What you do to one, you do to the other. Pretty sure you've heard the rule of thumb. They don't have to be twins, like identical twins, at least fraternal twins. You ever think of your face as a canvas? Because you are doing a piece of art, whether it's the most natural art you're doing, it's still art. And you want to take your time with it. Awesome. So now what I like to do is I'm going to go in with my brush again, going with that spoolie, and I'm going to brush out the product. That's the good thing about the spoolie as well, is that it brushes out to make it not as so harsh, especially in the front. So I'm brushing it out and bringing it through the brow. Same with the other side. Pushing it up, see the product through. There we are. Beautiful. Now, I'm gonna go in with my NARS Soft Glam in the shade Amande to clean up throughout the areas of my brow that I feel like needs a little bit healed. Now, when it comes to this, so I'm comfortable with where my shape is. I just don't want it to be so thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking this angle brush, as you can see. Can you see that? Okay, there you go. The angle brush, I have the product on it. I'm taking the flat, the side that is higher is going to go towards the inner portion of my brow, and this side obviously that's lower is going to go to the outer portion as it goes out this way. And like I mentioned before, you can shape your brows however you prefer. And I'm carrying it out. So before I clean it up, and see where I'm going with that. So apply the foundation, or not the foundation, excuse me, the concealer on the outer portion. And then I also like to put a little bit of the top as well. You see? That's how I do it. And if I feel like I may have filled in too much with the concealer, what I like to go ahead and do, I go ahead and finish cleaning up my brows, and then I'll just go back in with the same brow product. So this is what I'm working with. You see, like I mentioned before, you can create your brow however you prefer. This is the before. You see how it's a little bit thicker, and then this is the after. I'm still gonna shape this up, clean it up a little bit, but this is ideally what I want, is it to be a little bit more narrower. But you can see how I went from this to this. I am gonna go in with my Precisely pencil and clean up that one area of my brow where it's a little bit choppy. Cool. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the other brow. Take some more of that NARS Soft Matte Concealer in Amande. I'm gonna clean up that other brow. And like I mentioned before, we want them to be fraternal twins at least. Use the bar. Right there on my spoolie. And last but not least, I like to make sure my brows are laid into place. So I'm gonna use the Anastasia Brow Gel. It's a clear brow gel. I'm gonna just sweep that through. I like to do it at an angle. And this keeps your brows from moving around so much. It keeps them in place. Actually, Anastasia came out with brand new shades of, not brand new shades, I'm sorry, she reformulated her brow gel product line, because she had different colors. Like she has the clear one, which this one is, and then she had other shades like brunette, blonde, taupe, dark brown, and she repackaged them and made them better, essentially. This is waterproof. It keeps your brows in shape. It keeps them nice and perfect, which leads us right into